motherland drip on me. Tank, did you hit that lyric though? That lyric, motherland drip on me? What's really good, Tank?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Me too. No,
I feel like that's how you feel.
That is
when
how
you wake up.
You know what?
You got that motherland drip on you right now, though.
I do. Big up. Yes, and since we talking about collaboration, actually, a girl in New York, actually from Senegal, made this dress for me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear it tonight because we got that motherland drip on us. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I got that Mike Tyson drip on me. So,
okay.
You know, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad, but
we're gonna make it a good thing. Deal.
There we go.
Deal. What's up, family? So happy to see y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into tonight's The Block. I am Ohavia, and my awesome brother, my friend, my sweet baby, Tank. Who you be? I said your name.
I'm your favorite collaborator.
That's a fact.
Me.
That is a fact.
It is.
No, but you're right, though. Is the lie. But yes, so Tank and I are here. We're so excited to always pull up to The Block, and we're so happy to see you tonight, family. So, Tank, what do you look forward to tonight, Tank?
You know, I mean, as always, and this is not exaggeration, I want to tell y'all for real. Like, I keep my notes with me.
He takes notes.
So,
no cap.
I'm on the block to learn something.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to always be a part of this, and I'm definitely gonna get some knowledge out y'all for the free, because I'm also aware that these are industry leaders and professionals that charge for this information. So I'm happy to be on the block.
100%. Let me tell y'all, you are in the right place at the right time. Speaking of taking notes, we have some heavyweights with us. We have Tre McGriff, we have Jania Massey, and we have Don Thomas. I mean, they are absolutely amazing, and I'm so blessed to just be in the Zoom room with all these people, okay? So we just wanted to welcome y'all. The purpose of today's event is to talk collaboration, which is very important for us as creatives. It's so important for us to understand that we are a tribe, and the more we lean on each other is the more that we can leverage, and the more we leverage is the more we grow. So y'all are definitely at the right place at the right time. So listen, if you got some take notes with, I do it all the time when they talk, take your phones out. Or if you like my sweet baby Tank, go ahead and you like to transcribe it. You know, when you write stuff down, things happen. So I'm not gonna label before you long. I'm so excited. But before we get into all the details of tonight, I want to toss it over to the awesome founders of this awesome brain thing, this amazing soul work, this service that they do for our community, our Hue House founders. Tossing it over to you, Day.
What's going on, everybody? Good to see all the faces in the room tonight. My name is David Daly Arrington. I'm a producer, recording artist, and creative entrepreneur here in the city. And I'm glad to be with everybody tonight.
Yes.
I guess it's my time. Hey, y'all. My name is Davita Galloway, also founding member of Hue House. I'm host, speaker, entrepreneur, all of that. But let me just say, to be honest, my energy was so low, literally maybe 10 minutes ago. But seeing your faces and Dave, that soundtrack got me hyped, okay? So thank you. Definitely ready for this conversation.
Love it.
What's good? How's everybody doing? My name is David Butler. Some folks know me as Dave Has Wings, founding member of Hue House. Want to thank everybody for coming out and always showing up to The Block. It's always a pleasure to be here with y'all. For those of you who don't know about Hue House or don't know the work that we do, we exist in two ways. We're a for-profit creative agency where we work with large organizations to shift their internal culture to make sure that they have an equitable culture. We also provide marketing services to those large organizations to speak to communities that they're disenfranchised and disconnected from, which is why it's important that they have the proper internal culture. We never want to sell our culture over to anybody without making sure that they're going to properly maintain it and take care of it. So that's how we work on the for-profit side. On the nonprofit side, we work with creative entrepreneurs and artists of color to make sure that they have the resources that they need, and we're having the proper conversations and having a shared thought process to push everything forward as far as cultures and arts is concerned and building sustainable businesses. We do The Block every month, and we recently extended The Block into a digital publication, which I hope everybody will go follow and go check out at It's The Block _on all social media. We're doing curated stories, well thought out, well documented stories, controlling the narrative, telling our stories, bigging our people up, putting our community on blast, and letting everybody know what we got going on. So thank y'all for being here. I will have to step out. I have another digital event that's happening, so I'm happy to be able to greet you guys. I want you guys to have a great time. I'm gonna have to watch the recording of this joint. But thank y'all for coming out tonight, and excuse me for exiting. Love y'all, and I will see y'all around.
Yes, we love you, David. Go forth and serve, brethren. That's what we do. So big ups to all of the founders. We love them so much. And literally, you want to talk collaboration and service and action, is definitely the founders of Hugh House. So blessed by them. So listen, Tank, we got another icebreaker. It's a fun one. Like, it's a little pop quiz, right?
Little something.
You know what I'm
Keep
saying?
on your toes when you're on the block. Head on the swivel when you're on the block.
On the swivel when you on the block. Okay, so listen, this requires some participation. So I want y'all to, you know what I'm saying, stretch your fingers out, because we need you to blow that chat up with your responses. Okay, so we're gonna call this, what are we gonna call it, Tank? The Block is Hot Pop Quiz? That's what we're gonna call it, the Block is Hot Pop Quiz.
We already called it that, so yeah, that's what we doing.
Okay.
It's already been named. Let's
right?
go.
Gang. All right, y'all, so y'all ready? So listen, we're not going to tell you what y'all going to win. Just take it first and we'll work out the details later, all right? So the first question that we have for y'all is, what is tonight's topic on the block? Okay, so in the chat, just put your response A, B, C. Is it A, how to file an LLC, B, how to serve in communities, or C, the importance of power and collaboration, all right? So listen, what is the topic for tonight's block? Is it A, how to file an LLC, B, how to serve in communities, or C, the importance and power of collaboration? Ooh, oh, y'all already ready. I see C's. You see this, Tank? All the C's.
I think I see who got the first one in too.
Ooh, okay, did you see the first response? Yeah. Yep.
I did.
Sweet. All right. So look, Tank is also taking record of who answered first, and then we'll let you know what you win after we work on the details, right? You got it, Tank? Perfection. All right, y'all ready? Second question is, Hugh House practiced what they preach. They too have collaborated to bring a community a virtual event. What was that event that they held? And the last session was held sometime last week. Was it A, Who You Be Networking Mixer on Zoom to help tighten up your resume and get some business acumen? Or was it B, a free workshop teaming up with the ASC that developed business acumen for artists and creative entrepreneurs? Or was it C, a Zoom check-in to make sure y'all were all right? Because we needed it, all right? So I'm gonna run that question back. Hugh House definitely practiced what they preach when it comes to collaboration. They too collaborated with somebody, and they just finished up a session sometime last week. Was it A, for Who You Be, a networking mixer? Was it B, free workshops with the ASC? Or was it C, Zoom check-ins to make sure y'all was all right? Okay, what we got? Oh, y'all pay attention to social. Okay. Did you see who responded first? Jania said, I'm here to win. Nice work, y'all. Yes, the answer is B. It was free workshops teaming up with the ASC that helped to develop business acumen for artists and creativepreneurs. I told you, listen, Hugh House is about that action, all right? All right, the next question is, what has the Hugh House family done recently? What have they launched designed with artists and creative entrepreneurs of color in mind? So actually, David actually kind of like let y'all know, all right? But was it A, an online masterclass called The Block is Hot? B, a grant that funds the ideas of budding creatives? Or C, a new digital publication? All right, I'm gonna run that back. What has the Hugh House family recently launched designed with artists and creative entrepreneurs of color in mind? A, a masterclass, B, a grant, or C, a new digital publication? Now, we're going to speak all three in existence, but which one for this pop quiz? I got y'all. Yes, the answer is C. It's a new digital publication. Be sure to follow us at It's the Block _ great reads there, talented people, right, Tank? Talented writers, so talented.
Listen, let me tell you about somebody else that's also talented. Shout out to Torian Parker, because I don't know if it's like a big prize or a really big prize.
Yeah.
But Torian Parker definitely trying to get the prize.
Torian, you're not playing, love. He's like, I don't know how he's doing it. He got the Kermit meme on energy. I see you, Torian. Good to see you, love. All right. The next question is, and now let's see if y'all paying attention, okay? Because listen, you got to know your why so we can serve our communities better, okay? So watch the work. Hugh House is known for supporting blank and blank communities by providing blank and blank for those who create and preserve them. Is it A, cultural and arts communities by providing resources and funding? Is it B, resume reviewing and hard work, networking and opportunities? Or is it C, all businesses and arts, networking and opportunities, okay? So Hugh House is known for supporting A, cultural and arts, or is it B, resume reviewing and hardworking, or C, all businesses and all art? Hey, okay, yes, the answer is A, okay, y'all. So listen, Hugh House serves by supporting cultural and art communities by providing resources and funding for those who create and preserve them. They really are about that action. Okay, bonus round. Tank, you ready? It's the lightning round.
Yo, shout out to Mark Pendergrass on that last round. See you, Mark.
Yep. Yeah, Mark, we see you. All right, last one. Y'all ready for tonight? Is it A, yes, or B, yes, yes? Yes. Are y'all ready for tonight? Is it A, yes, or is it B, yes, yes? So listen, I see all the B's. It could be A, B, all the above, all right? So look, we are so happy to have y'all. Tank, he's been recording. Who's been answering first? Yes, Davida said B, 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 B. Big ups to Andrea. Thank y'all so much for participating. We try to always make this fun and engage with you guys. And thank you for always pulling up here at the block. We are so excited, and tonight is no different. Right, Tank?
Absolutely, absolutely. We got, I'm telling you, even if you don't normally take notes, you might just want to like press record on your device or, do something.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get something whether you're looking for it or not, whether you fully engaged or partially engaged, you're gonna catch something tonight. We got a real live panel tonight, and I'm excited about everybody.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited. Well, I'm definitely probably most excited about Jania because I've known her the longest.
Yes. Aww.
And I seen the transition between like I want to do this to I'm doing this, so I'm kind of killing it right now. So yeah. I'm here for it tonight. There might be a little tears on the block.
Listen, we cry. Real G's cry. G's cry. It's okay to cry. Yes. So big ups to Jania. Big ups to Tre and Don. We are so excited for tonight's lineup. But before we get into all that, y'all, let's do a few housekeeping. Y'all saw what I did there. Okay, so make sure that you are on mute. We want to make sure that all of our speakers definitely are given great space and flowers to speak, and so that you all can hear them for those notes that you'll be taking. Two, also, if you all want to see who's speaking, like really speaker view, if you are on your laptop, you go to the top right, you will see speaker view. If you click on it, whoever's speaking will be directly on your screen. For some, they prefer that view. So just in case, I wanted to make that an option for y'all. Also, if you have questions for any one of our amazing panelists, please drop them in the chat. We will collect those, and there will be a question and answer portion. So we'll be able to go back, see who asked the question, and you will be able to chime in. Also, utilize the raise your hand feature. We have a lot of people here who would tell us who said who. But if you don't want to just do the raise your hand feature, you can also put in the chat like, hey, Tank, want to ask something, all right? So those are just a few housekeeping rules. Make sure you're on mute. If you want to see who's speaking, do the speaker view at the top right corner on your laptop. If it's on your phone, it'll be at the bottom, I believe. And yeah, so yep, stay engaged and stay with us. And we're so happy to have y'all, all right? So, Tank, you ready? I'm excited. Very, very excited. So first up, we have Tre McGriff of the Charlotte Black Film Festival, all right? So Tre is the founder and the director of CineOdyssey Film Festival. He may be a native of Long Island, New York, and he received his education in film from the Hollywood Film Institute and the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan, okay? But he's pure Charlottean all the way. He loves the city, and he's truly a servant in his gifting of film. Tre started a nonprofit event called CineOdyssey to show the films he didn't see highlighted in Charlotte, which were those of African, Caribbean, Latino, Asian, and Native American diasporas. CineOdyssey provides training for aspiring filmmakers from undeserved and underserved communities. Okay, so Tre, we are so excited to have you in the Zoom room. Y'all go crazy in the chat for Tre. And Tre, you are up first.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, I just unmuted myself. How you guys doing this evening? We got like a full house, like 76 people here. This is crazy, but I'm loving this. So we're here tonight to talk about collaboration, and I want to start off by defining the word, actually. Webster, the great dictionary, defines collaboration as to work jointly with others or together. That's the definition of collaboration. And the word actually comes from a Latin prefix, which is the first part of the word is com and the last part is labore. I think that's how you pronounce it. But together, they mean to labor together. So so collaboration really means to labor together. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about collaboration and how we apply it to the CineOdyssey Film Festival. So just a little quick backstory. When it came to starting this festival, I wanted to start a festival that didn't exist. And film is an art form that is based on collaboration. So, you know, in film, you have directors, you have producers, you have writers, and you have, you know, all these type of people to make the project, you know, pop off. So that has always been the case for me, you know, from the beginning. I've always been a person who is big on collaboration. But as far as starting the festival, when I moved to Charlotte about 20 years ago, the film industry here was pretty robust. There was a lot of Hollywood stuff, there's a lot of independent stuff. But one of the things that I felt was missing was, in terms of people of color, there wasn't enough support in terms of people across the different diasporas. So that was the impetus to start the film festival. So when you talk about collaboration, you know, the very first event that I did was I rented out a space uptown, a coffee shop, and I invited like as many influential people as I could. People from radio, people from, you know, actors and directors and people who ran nonprofits. So I was very intentional from the beginning about collaborating with people and getting people on board and supporting this festival. So so I sent out, you know, invites to about 30, 40 people. About 25 people showed up. Some of those people that I invited is actually on this call and didn't show up, but I'm not going to hold that against you. I still love you, but but it's all good. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the keys to collaboration. About 5 years ago, I saw an interview with a gentleman who was he's a self-help author, and he was talking about how his background was in self-help books. That's the type of books he wrote. And he met this gentleman who did children's books, and he said, you know, wouldn't it be something if we could, you know, pool our talents together and create a book? So they wrote a book to help managers, people who, you know, manage in industry. And he said something that was very interesting that stuck with me. He said there were two keys to collaboration. He said the first pillar is called the essence. The second pillar is called form. Essence is the shared value of whoever you're collaborating with. He explained it as being heart to heart or value to value. And he said the form part was how you're going to put the collaboration together. So you had the essence and you had form, and those are the two pillars of collaboration. And that always you know, stuck with me, and I've always sort of you know, let that be sort of a guiding principle to what I do. And the other part is that I've always looked at collaboration as having two keys besides those two pillars. The first key is to either solve a problem, and the other key is to improve upon that which exists that can be improved upon. So when we put our festival together, I identified the problem being that there wasn't enough outlets for filmmakers of color or even people of color to enjoy those films. And so it became a goal of mine to improve upon the existing structure that we had here in the community. And that's where the festival was born. And so one of the initiatives that we're working on right now that I'm really excited about, and a lot of you probably don't even know this, but there are over 14 different film festivals, organizations, and collectives right here in Charlotte. Did you guys know that? I had no idea. You know, I know a few of them, but I didn't know there was that many. And I said, when you look at other cities, other neighboring cities, they have a more robust film community, I felt, because those organizations in those cities all collaborate. I didn't really see that here. And, you know, just, you know, full transparency, I connected with a couple of the film festivals, and we said, why don't we reach out to all 14 and let's give a film festival? And this is something that was decided maybe 30 days ago. And it's actually going to happen the end of this month. We're calling it the One Charlotte Film Fest. And this is a history-making collaboration because it's never been done before. You've never had that many different film organizations come together to give one event. So I'm really, really, really excited about this, and I hope that you all come out and support. So the film festivals that are participating, some of them you may know, Real Out Charlotte, the Charlotte Black Film Festival, the Classic Black Film Series, the Charlotte Film Festival, the Unconventional Film School. So it's just going to be like a really, really great event. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. And so a lot of what I'm talking about sort of ties in with our film festival. And one of the other collaborations that I was really blessed, that we've been really blessed to have on board was Kweli TV. I want you guys to really support this initiative. It's called Kweli TV. It's spelled Kweli TV. And it's a sister out of DC. Her name is Jania Spencer. She created this platform. A lot of people in the media call it the Black Netflix. And I was following this sister when her platform was just in beta. It wasn't, you know, you're going back 8-9 years ago when, you know, when her platform was just in beta. And the thing that I loved about her was that her platform was sort of like a reflection of what our film festival was all about. So when you go on her platform, you're going to see films from Africa. You're going to see films from the Caribbean. You're going to see Native American films. So I reached out to her about a year ago and I said, well, you know, we're in the same lane. Why don't we collaborate and you come to Charlotte and sit on a panel and have a discussion? And it was like, she didn't even hesitate. That was like the easiest yes that I ever got in my life. So she came here and she actually sat on a panel where we talked about content creation. And it was fantastic. And even one of the filmmakers at our event, who actually won Best Original Film at our event, actually was signed to her platform after our festival. So now they have an opportunity to show their film all over the world and make some coins. So we were really, really excited about that. The other thing about a festival that I was very intentional about from the very beginning was to have anyone who participated in the festival, whether you were led a workshop, whether you sat on a panel, that it was reflective of the type of films that we show. So when you come to our festival and you see the panel discussions that we have, you're going to see Asians, Latinos, Africans. These are the people that are going to be on the panel discussions and lead the workshops at our festival. So when you're new, and we're actually going into our 4th year, you have a lot of challenges in the beginning. So my thing was always, I have to collaborate, you know, to sort of make up what I don't have, which at the time wasn't money. I mean, I still don't have any money, you know what I mean? But it was very important that I found creative ways to collaborate in order to make up for the things that I didn't have. So one of the great things that happened about 3 years ago during the first festival was I was a big fan, or I am a big fan, of an actress named Yolanda Ross. Are you guys familiar with the show The Chi? Do you have Showtime? Okay, if you guys raise your hand if you're familiar with the show. She's a tremendous actress, and she is definitely independent film all the way. And I reached out to her on Facebook. I inboxed her on Facebook and said, look, I got this festival. I don't have any money. I'm looking to collaborate. And we would love to have you come down to Charlotte. Have you ever been to Charlotte? She said, well, I've never been to Charlotte. But, you know, I'm hearing some good things about Charlotte. I would love to come down. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'll pay for your flight. I'll beg a local hotel to put you up for 2 nights, and you come down and do what we call the actor's journey. That's where she talks about her experience in the biz, and you know how she came up in the biz. And she said yes, and it was like, that was like the easiest get ever that I ever had. And on top of that, not only did she come down, but she also brought a film with her that she directed. And we were able to screen that film right before we had the actors discussion with her. So I say all these things to say that sometimes you have to sort of use your guile when you don't have a lot of resources and you do want to collaborate. You have to use your guile, and you have to make sure that you're intentional with offering value. Okay, if we don't offer value, we don't collaborate. My mother is almost 80 years old, and she grew up in a time where people in the community, they didn't have resources, they didn't have money, so they did what was called bartering. Anybody ever heard of bartering? Raise your hand. And basically, bartering is collaboration for poor people. Okay, I got beans, you got milk. Okay, why don't we feed each other? Because we have families. And so when I think about collaboration, it's give and take. A lot of it is give and take when it comes to not having a lot of resources. So The other thing I want to say about collaboration, and like I said, full transparency, is, folks, you got to vet the people that you collaborate. You know, what's the saying? All skinfolk ain't kinfolk. You know, full transparency. You have to do your research and find out what kind of value that person is going to bring to your bottom line. Because I've seen collaborations go left. I've seen friends become ex-friends because they didn't do the homework of vetting each other. So I say all this to say that for all good intentions, sometimes those collaborations don't work. So you have to find, you know, whether you're an individual that wants to collaborate with another individual, whether you're an individual that wants to collaborate with an organization, whether you're an organization that wants to collaborate with another organization, you have to have shared value and a vision. So I encourage you to think big, dream bigger, and let's get this work.
Hey, that man said, "Let's get this work." That was very New York of you, Tre. I don't know.
No doubt.
Yo, go crazy in the chat for Tre. You know, Tre, you dropped so many gems. I think my favorite one though was use your guile when you don't have resources. So it's not that you don't have nothing at all. You just gotta, you know, pull out what you got and use it. Yes, I appreciate you, Tre. I appreciate you, Tank. Come on.
Yes.
Let's talk about the gems.
Listen, first of all, Tre has such an authentic accent.
Yeah.
I felt like Denzel Washington was giving a monologue.
Pop off, coffee house, dog water. No, I made that last one up.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. Yo, Tre, I thank you for those words. Mm-hmm. You know, they say I got a face for radio, but if you know of any opportunities where we might could collaborate on possibly like a role, I'm shooting my shot, because I definitely shoot my shot on the block.
Absolutely. Do it.
So I'm just saying, Tre, if you want to, you know, this face belongs on the tizoob. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. But thank you so much, Tre. And listen, take notes, because he dropped some gems. Essence and Form. I mean, we'll be here all day. I said, man, listen, he in his bag, all right? So y'all go crazy in the chat for Tre. Tre, thank you so much. Next up, we have Jania Massey. So Jania is, that's my sweet baby. And I feel like I sound like an auntie Tank when I say sweet baby. Mm-hmm. I just love me some Jania so much, so I'm gonna brag about her a little bit. Aside from the fact that she's somebody I really look up to, she is a creative concept strategist, an entrepreneur, a community leader. She also just dropped some cosmetics, but we'll get to that. She'll get to that. She is also the founder and CPO of Stiletto Boss University. She is a WSSU alumna. I had to throw that in because she loves her school. She loves where she went to school. And she definitely leads like a boss. Y'all go crazy in the chat for the beautiful Boss Jania.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Just give me thumbs up, because, you know, it's interesting to watch this and y'all on mute. So I hope y'all doing good. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, Ram Pride, all those good things. So those that know me will not be shocked that I actually have a presentation, because that's just what I do, right? So let me share it with you guys really quickly. And let me know if you guys can see it. Can y'all see it okay?
Jania, we see it. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So named this not simply because, well, first off, I want to thank you guys for letting me use my voice and be on this platform. I'm very, very humbled, and I just adore every last one of you guys. I know me and Davida have been in collaboration for probably well over a decade with my first business. So when she asked me, I was like, heck yeah. So let's do it. So I'm calling this presentation The Power of Collaboration simply because that book changed my life. There's a book called The Power of Collaborative Solutions by Tom Wolfe, and it is amazing. So if you are a nerd like me and you like to read and you're really into community, I highly suggest that you get this book. It is amazing. It goes through
so many things, and I could show you my book, y'all. It's not even white anymore. It's like a dusty gray. But that's why I titled this presentation, The Power of Presentation, of Collaboration. Let's see. All right, so if you also know me, you know that I love quotes. So I wanted to start off saying one of my favorite quotes is, none of us, including me, ever do great things, but we can all do small things with great love, and together we can do something wonderful. And that's by the Mother Teresa. And the reason why I love this quote is because I think a lot of times in society, we get so caught up in trying to do massive things. And the reality is doing those small things and doing it with great intention and love that really gets you to the next level. And it really helps you to impact and create wonderful things. So Mother Teresa summed it up very nicely in her quote. And I'm just a real advocate that do small things and do them well, and you will go far. So who am I? Ohavia said that I'm her sweet baby. She did sound like an auntie, but what I really am is I'm pretty much a lot of things. If you know me, I'll figure it out. I'll get it done. I have been a grassroots advocate probably for the last 4 years since I started my grassroots organization, Stiletto Boss University. And I'm really at the table just making sure that all voices are heard. And I consider myself an organizational strategist. If you truly, truly know me, you will know that I probably have a flip chart in my trunk, and I'm pulling it out, and I am strategizing with people on how to build sustainable programming in the communities that we serve, because it's needed. But I wanted to say real quick that Stiletto Boss University, it is a program that started back in 2016, and it's all about training youth on entrepreneurship. But I really want to change the narrative and have young people to start learning how to be self-sufficient versus self-reliant. So that's really where it came from, and that's really what I'm all about doing, because I feel like we need to start with the next generation, because they're going to be taking care of us next. And I hope y'all still with me. I can't see y'all face because I'm doing a presentation, so I hope y'all still with me. All right, so how do we collaborate? So we have collaborated using resources, influence, and knowledge. We collaborate with influencers. Here you have a picture in the middle of Stacy Michelle. She is an Instagram influencer, but she's also a dear friend of mine. She collaborated with me on creating a apparel line for our SBU collection. And also I've collaborated recently with a lipstick line with the celebrity makeup artist out in Nashville. And what's happening there is that percentage of the proceeds go back into our SBU programming. And it's just been amazing to build out this social enterprise where we can collaborate with businesses and women and other important products that'll come back into our community. So that's really where that collaboration came from. And we also collaborate with other female entrepreneurs and businesses whose missions aligns with our, which is all about empowerment. So it's really, really important for us to do that, because what we know for a fact is we talk a lot about social capital, but a lot of people don't see people that are reflective of them. And it's not necessarily a race thing. It's just, it's a life thing. Me being in my 30s, I always wonder who did what I wanted to do. And it was hard for me to find that person at one point until I became that person myself. So I think we have to start putting people in position to see reflection of themselves in the most honest and pure way. So I also wanted to start off, and I'm kind of going to piggyback some stuff on what Tre was saying, but here are 4 top tips of how to collaborate effectively. I really love when Tre said you cannot collaborate with everyone. I have had collaborations that did not go well, but these 4 tips are things that I feel are super important and very valuable for you to move forward when you start collaborating with people. So first is know your skill set. A lot of times we don't know what we're good at doing. And sometimes that's just because you know how to do things naturally and you don't really know what that skill set is. And I think you have to dive deep within yourself and ask, what can I truly offer and what am I skilled at doing? Because you have to know you first before you can even tap into anybody and show them how you could be a part of their collaborative unit. Second is list your resources. I think Tre said this earlier, but what I've noticed culturally is that sometimes you come in and you meet people and you say, hey, how you doing? But you don't really ask nobody, like, what do you do for a living, or what are you great at doing? And I noticed that I personally wasn't doing that with my own circle. I do know a lot of people from being raised here in Charlotte, but some of my friends, I didn't really know what they did for work or how they went about doing things. So I wanted to make sure that I want to encourage you guys to really know what your friends are doing, because that's a part of your collaborative circle and your resources. You need to know what they're doing in order to move forward. And it's so much magic that we all have within ourselves naturally. We need to grow together and collaborate in that way by using our resources. And I guess that's another way of saying barter and trade. But I mean, I'm all about people securing the bag too. So it's fun to make money with your friends. Next thing is, make sure your collaborations are mutually beneficial. So collaboration should never be one-sided. And I've had situations where collaboration was very one-sided, and it came out where I felt extremely used, but it helped me to strengthen myself in what it was that I can do, and making sure that my communication is better. In the nonprofit space, you will hear that as an MOU, a memorandum of understanding. You know, I believe in every legal document that you can have. I'm all about contracts. Anybody that knows me, I know I'll slide you over NDA like I'm Beyonce real quick. But remember those things, that collaboration is never, it should be mutually beneficial. And if it's not, you're doing it wrong. So you need to make sure that you communicate and that you're very clear about what you're doing and what you're offering. And lastly, when you collaborate, y'all, you can't just have one phone call and think it's going to work out. You have to meet often. You know, I know for me, I have flip charts. I have project management tools like Asana. I have to-do lists, a responsibility list. But you have to do those things in order to expand your mind and in order to make sure that what you're executing is going to come out valuable. So y'all still with me? Because I can't see y'all. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
Jenny, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I can't see nothing on my end. So hope y'all enjoying. All right, so lastly, I'm going kind of fast, I feel like, but I did have 10 minutes. But I wanted to encourage you guys a call to action. And basically, why I'm saying this call to action specifically is all about doing collective donation to a Black-led organization. And what I mean by collective is that you gather your squad or your crew. I have a picture here of the favorite sitcom ever, Girlfriends. But get your crew together and make a donation together. It's not hard. You know, we throw $20, $30 around every day, getting coffee or doing other things. Like, we can still collectively support nonprofits, especially Black-led organizations, because we need you. Black-led organizations need you like no other. I know for me in this journey, you know, it has been a lot. We have expanded our programming to be in 9 chapters around Charlotte. But I remember when I first started raising money and the goal was to raise $20,000. And I was literally twerking the same way for $20 as I would for $50. Like, it all mattered, and it all collectively helped me get to the goal. So I want you guys to really just get your friends together, pick a nonprofit organization, and donate, because we need your resources, we need your funding, we need your support like no other. So I'm going to end it because I feel like my time is coming up, but I'm going to end it with one of my favorite quotes by the GOAT himself: talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. So I hope you guys enjoyed my quick tips. And if you have any questions, of course, we'll have that time later on.
Come on, Jania, with the entire PowerPoint.
Oh, y'all wrote a lot. Hey, y'all.
Yeah. So you couldn't see the comments.
I couldn't see any comments.
Yeah. No, we was blowing you up. It was good. It was good.
Hey, I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay, I see twerking. Hey, I cannot see anything. Okay, so thank y'all for the support.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all go crazy in the chat for Jania. She dropped mad gems. I mean, first of all, come on with the call to action. That's actually like one of my favorite things about your presentation. It's like, okay, yeah, no, listen, but then afterward, let's go do. So yeah, money talks. Thank you, Jania. We appreciate you so much. Tank.
Yeah.
She did that.
She definitely did that.
I'm
telling you, I've known Jania for a long time. I'm talking about 11.
Ooh.
She been like that.
Yeah.
Yo, me and my crew used to call her Michelle Obama.
Oh, Jania, I know you could hear this. You heard what he said.
This was during the presidency. It wasn't like, oh, you remind me of Michelle Obama back in the day. It's like live action Michelle Obama.
Why, Tank? Why she wrote in the chat, "Where my Barack though?" We're gonna pray about it, sis. We're gonna pray.
Well,
we're gonna pray.
well.
Yes. Yes, but listen, Jania, I echo everything that Tank said. You're definitely a force, and I'm so grateful to know you. I'll give it up for Jania. All right. Last but certainly not least, Tank, I'm excited about this man. Do you hear me? So excited.
All right.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. We will be here all day. But listen, I want to introduce to y'all Don Thomas. Okay, so I'm not even gonna lie. He's the reason why I started saying grace and peace, because the way that he brings the energy of such he just brings motherland energy. But yes, so big ups to my brother Don Thomas. He's a transformation-oriented practitioner, giving urban pastoral insight. His caption is short-term responsive, but long-term strategic. And to know Don, he's definitely about that action. He is a representative of My Brother's Keeper Charlotte, and he definitely serves. Quick, I wanted to give My Brother's Keeper Charlotte some flowers. They work to support policies, organizations that address persistent gaps and help to ensure that all young men of color have the opportunity to just achieve and so much more. Up to the screen is Don Thomas. Y'all gonna need y'all. I'm telling you, take notes. Don, how you feel?
I'm outstanding. Peace and blessings. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. I came on a little late. I was coming from another framework. It's interesting how you can come from another meeting and just go boop, boop. There we go. I'm here. Jania, outstanding. Tre, peace and blessings. I really love that call to action as well. When I think about collective economics, that idea of coming together with some comrades to put some money in the pot to support Black-led and Black benefiting organizations is profoundly innovative. And so I appreciate you even putting that into the space. I've been reflecting on collaboration for some time. And so when I started to think about 10 minutes, it started getting real for me. And now that I've seen how succinct Jania was, I feel like I should have been on some, but yeah. So 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes. I have been reflecting on collaboration, right? Co-laboring. And what's been interesting in this reflection is that for communities of color, Black communities in particular, it is no longer just an exercise where one needs to try to be intentional. It is now an imperative, right? If we are to shift the culture, if we are to become kind of re-educated, right? If we are to militate against the default, the incentive structures have been put in place to ensure that we kind of compete over collaborate. And so what we're trying to do with My Brother's Keeper is that we're not trying to bring another program. There are some outstanding programs. You just heard one about one just now. Outstanding programs that are happening in our community that are producing transformative outcomes. But what happens is if you have those transformative outcomes in a silo, so to speak, then we can't take it to scale. And one of the things that I'm interested in, and one of the things I've committed my professional career to, is this kind of macro community development and organizing. So how do we take to scale the transformative outcomes of Stiletto Boss, right? How do we take that? And now, how do we create policies, practices, and procedures that take some of those practices that she's been using in that organization to ensure that every young lady is now exposed to that type of strategy, right? And so this is how we've been kind of thinking through the work. And so I think it's important to understand that collaboration is an important step, but it is not the end game. Okay, an important step, but not the end game. Collaboration is an imperative because this is where relationships, this is where trust is built. When we co-labor, it is the transactionality that is important so we can produce something, right? We co-labor in order to produce something, right? We are in this work together and we are going to produce something. When that trust and that relationship is now it becomes transformative is when we think about how do we now cooperate. So there's a distinct difference between collaboration and cooperation that we may not have time to dig into as much as we should. but it is important for you to know that, because when you cooperate, now there is shared benefit, right? We are now, there is the power dynamics begin to shift. And so when you're thinking about it from a macro framework where you're trying to build a capacity so grassroots and grass top can come together and share the same worldview in order to push an agenda that will support the uplift of the human condition, we have to ensure that we don't get stuck in co-laboring, but we try to create an apparatus by which we can cooperate in order to shift the culture, right? It's important for us to know that. And so when I talk about this, the reason that I'm talking about the grass top folks, I'm gonna use Jania's term, folks that know me, right? You know that that I say grass top, grassroots, you hear me say that all the time. And I'll give you a quick example, right? We have a man in office right now. And the reason that we have him in the office right now is because a grass top and the grassroots, they share the same worldview. If we remember the what is it called? The Don't Tread on Me, what is that? The Tea Party framework. If anybody remember the Tea Party, right? The Tea Party was a grassroots framework that was supported by their grass top. And they were able to disrupt the norms. They seen Obama in office and they wanted to ensure that they created a collaboration of sorts to ensure that they regain power, right? And so if you remember, they took over their local government, their state government, before you know it, because, and everybody that's in the so-called Republican Party or so-called Democratic Party, they don't agree on everything, right? You're not gonna find that perfect match where we're agreeing on we're clicking on all cylinders. If you do, peace and blessings. But what I'm saying is that we have to kind of put ourselves in a position, and this requires of us a certain level of humility, because by default we want to be the best. By default, we want to be the thought leader, right? And so cooperation requires of us that we place righteousness over recognition. It requires of us that we are not in pursuit of reward, but we are in pursuit of transforming community and changing lives. And so, my brother's keeper, that's the work that we're engaged in. That's the work that we're trying to do. And so, as a backbone organization, cooperation also brings about power, right? I wish that everybody was off mute, because I would ask you to repeat and say the word power. I would want to hear that, because that is the type of.
We can do that.
Yeah, can we all just say power? Because I think it's important to put that into the space. If you can unmute and just say power.
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 It is important.
Black power.
Hey. It is important that we adopt and we really live out that type of nomenclature, because when we come together and cooperate together, we will see the power dynamics begin to shift, right? And the reason that we're only at a co-laboring framework, because like you can have grass top and grassroots collaboration. That doesn't mean that the power dynamics will shift. That means that those that are in power are engaged with people that may not have as much access and power, and they co-labor something. But then when that thing is produced, the power dynamics are still the same. And so we have to commit ourselves, if we are really truly committed to transforming community, if we are really committed to the uplift of the human condition, cooperation has to be where we are. Now, some practical ways by which you come to that space, right? Practical ways. This is what we're doing, just a snippet, because one of the things we've heard, now we are laser focused on Black and brown boys and Black and brown young men. We're laser focused on that work. That's what the data shows us where the gap is with regards to my brother's keeper. Right? When we look at that incarceration, when we're looking at suspensions, we're looking at absenteeism, when we're looking at antisocial behavior, we are looking at our Black boys in particular being at the bottom of the barrel. And so in order to shift that narrative, we have had to create a linking social capital. You heard Jania mention that earlier. And what happens with that word, folks don't use that word as a catalyst for action. They don't believe that social capital is actually something that needs to be, some steps that need to be taken, something that can be actualized, right? And so what we're saying is that we have created a life course continuum. So our goal is saying this, very ambitious, we understand that, but our goal is to ensure that every Black and brown boy born in Charlotte, Mecklenburg has everything they need to fulfill their purpose without institutional, without organizational, and without systemic impediment. Now, how do we go about doing that? We go about doing that by creating a linking social capital strategy. That linking social capital strategy allows us, so my administrative support, what she's doing right now is taking 100+ organizations and creating a profile for Black-led and Black benefiting organizations. She's creating a profile on all of those organizations. Now what we can do with those profiles and how she's situating that and how organized and comprehensive it is, we can now compartmentalize those organizations within that life course continuum. So you have organizations that are working with early education, even prenatal. You have organizations that are in workforce development and everything in between. So now we link organizations together. We are very comprehensive. I think Jania hit it spot on. We believe in formalizing. Remember, the two pillars that leads to really community transformation. The two pillars is sustainability and institutionalization. And so we're just not going to partner in this work just because it feels good. No, we are going to formalize this partnership because it needs to be institutionalized so we can ensure that it shifts the practices, the policies, and the way by which we do this work, okay? So we compartmentalize those organizations within that life course continuum. We have those shared agreements. We have a data sharing agreement. In fact, as a backbone organization, we are looking to resource and supporting aligned activities. We want to make sure that we can guide a strategy around collective impact. We want to be able to resource organizations that are committing themselves to sharing data, right? This is how you institutionalize it, because the work, when you institutionalize things, now it has generational implications. It goes way beyond where we are. To engage in this work, given the fact that how the current incentive structures are created, where a philanthropic body come to a nonprofit and say, here, we want something for mentoring. Now, which one of you organizations are the best? And then you go ahead and get these crumbs that I'm putting out on the table. Now, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, but I want you to understand and recognize your power once you come together. Because then you are not even, your work is not contingent upon the emotional disposition of white men who are running philanthropic corporations, right? We have been very intentional with My Brother's Keeper is that we have some very serious men sitting around our committee, men of color who are committed to changing the outcomes and the trajectory of our Black and brown boys. And so because we understand the power that holds, we want to be very intentional how we resource. So we don't want to just resource one organization. We want to be able to resource an initiative that where organizations are committing themselves to be in alignment, right? Wow, I don't even know where I am on my time, but I did get a little fired up. I appreciate y'all allowing me to get a little fired up, because this is the only way that we will be able to change, collectively transform the community, right? And this allows us we have to leave our ego. It takes a certain level of ego, a certain level of confidence, a certain level of swag to come and do this work and be committed to this work. So let me not belittle the fact that you have to have a certain chip on your shoulder to regain the power that has been stripped from us because of the way we've been socialized. So let me not undermine that. But what I am saying is that the way that we have been cultured within the Western framework, where ego and individualism undermines our ability to really build something that can transform lives, that's what I'm saying we need to reject. Okay, that's what I'm saying we need to reject. But keep your swag, right? Come, you the boss, right? Whether you wearing stilettos or Timbs, you the boss, right? Let's not overstate or understate that, right? So, but I just want to make sure that the thing that you think through, you heard Sister she's talked about the short-term responsive, long-term strategic. Whenever you're collaborating, you need to be thinking about that. Whenever you're trying to cooperate, you need to be thinking about what is your long-term strategy? How are we looking to sustain? How are we looking to institutionalize, right? So you can be short-term responsive, especially for those that are committed to like mentoring and things like that. There's a crisis going on. There is a crisis. And so we need some short-term strategies in order to deal with that crisis. And so, but at the same time, we have to ensure that we are using and spending adequate energy towards building strategies that get at the heart to why that issue and crisis exists in the first place, okay? So that's important. So that's why we say be short-term responsive, right? We don't want to just be in the clouds. No, we have to have a certain level of proximity to the suffering, right? You just can't build this type of work and see suffering on the periphery. There's a certain proximity that is required, in fact. So let this be a mandate on us all, that there's a certain proximity that is required of us in order to change the condition of our community. But at the same time, we have to ensure that we are building out those systems, those strategies. And the reason when I've created a definition of community that is broader than just the grassroots, because they are brothers that have come and sisters that have come from certain backgrounds that are now in positions to create policy. So they have to be engaged, they have to be involved in this work. And we have to be working in concert if we are to see the collective outcomes that we're all hoping for. So, and I'll wait for any questions so we don't prolong it. But peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you.
I mean, Don. All right. Let me call for help, Don. Tank.
Excuse me, I was just writing my notes.
No, like Don is such a y'all. He bring that Super Saiyan, Malcolm X, Mega Ever, Stokely Carmichael, all the greats energy.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, Don, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for not only bringing your knowledge, but your service, your work that you're doing to the Zoom room. We appreciate you, Bertrand. All right, y'all. So, wow. I literally was, wow. All right, we back. All right, so listen. Now's the time. If y'all have any question and answer, put them in the chat. Or I'm going to look out for so-and-so, whoever raised their hands. So if you have any questions for any one of our panelists, now's the time to fire away. All right? So don't be shy. Drop them in.
Wait. Quick housekeeping rule.
Yes.
We are definitely on a time restraint. So please do not take in advance. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance.
Yeah.
But if you go over the limit tonight, because there are some other time restrictions and whatnot,
right.
Please say your piece, get in, get out, elevator speech style. Y'all know how we do on the block.
30 seconds.
Yo, because if we got to hit the mute button tonight, then, you know, don't charge it to the block, charge it to me directly.
We'll do it with a smile, right? But listen, if y'all have any questions for any of our panelists, go ahead in the chat. Let it be said, let it know. Also, shout out to all y'all participating in the chat. I mean, Don was giving a lot of love. So was Trey. So was Jania. Thank y'all so much for just participating and giving our panelists their flowers, because they are powerhouses. All right, y'all. Don't leave tonight. Come on.
Oh, hey, I did see. I think I saw a question from Vivian. Did I see it? Vivian, did you have a question?
Vivian, you have one?
Okay.
You on mute, sweet baby?
Was it directed to me or in general?
It was, because you had spoke about collaborating with people and sometimes it doesn't work out. How do you handle that or navigate going forward? Say they have a mutual friend, a mutual group of people, and it comes up. How do you secure your business still and, you know, keep that conversation moving?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I'm glad you asked that. I think that we have to get out of that realm of calling people out, especially on social media, and not having the conversation with people in person. So for me, if the collaboration doesn't work, we're having a conversation. And it's not to be mean. It's not to be like I have emotion into it. It's just, let me tell you where it went wrong so we can try to fix it and still mend the relationship. And we may not work together again in that capacity, but at least you know what went wrong and we can be better communicators. Because I don't think we will get better with collaboration if we don't have the honest conversation when things don't work out. And I say that because, yeah, there's scammers out here. Yeah, there's things that go wrong. But I'm also tired of seeing when people call each other out in such a unloving way that we can't get past it. And then it turns into this petty, it turns into this whole big thing, and it gets us off the goal of where we need to get to in the end game. So that's how I handle this situation. And also, again, I think I mentioned I'm all about legal documents. So I have an MOU, I have an NDA, I have a confidentiality. That's something that I wanted to invest in because philanthropy is a public trust. I trust y'all to give me y'all's money. It is a blessing for you to give me y'all money, especially when it's coming from Black people. Black people give differently. And it's because of so many reasons that Don hit on a lot during his conversation, but it's so many reasons why we give differently. And it's not that we don't want to give, but we do give in a different way. So instead of there being beef or anything like that, let's have the conversation. And if you still can't respect me, or you still can't be able to move forward with it, then the relationship is kind of severed, but at least we had the conversation so it can be mended. And so the next person you collaborate with, you'll have a different perspective on how to move as a unit. So that's how I handle it.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And I love that. Don't call anybody out. Torian, I'm gonna have you unmute. I saw you raised your hand.
Perfect. This kind of question, Jania just kind of touched on it a little bit, but this is kind of open to everybody. But when you are collaborating with someone else or another organization and they don't have the necessary tools when it comes to the logistics and the organization and the paperwork, how do you go about having that conversation? Because you can see the benefit of working with them, but how do you have that dialogue with another individual organization?
I'll go first. I think that that's another thing. I think we have to make sure as a business, because nonprofit is still a business and for-profit is a business, we have to make sure we got our stuff together. You know what I'm saying? So yes, extend grace to people if they don't have it, but also don't be afraid to ask the questions. And then if you have the resources to help them get it, then provide the resources to help them get it. Tre talked earlier about not pro bono. He talked earlier about barter trading. You have a lot of people that'll do pro bono services for you because they'll support you and they love you. So there's nothing wrong for asking for that. And again, during the bartering method where it's mutually beneficial. But I think for me is I have to be intentional about who I partner with, because in the nonprofit space, when I first started Stiletto Boss University, I had a fiscal agent. And a fiscal agent is someone who already has their 501c3 certification, and they can collect money on my behalf, and they can give that money to me so I can still get the work done. So a lot of people forget those terminologies and that language of things, that there always is a workaround to get to the goal. And it doesn't mean that you hinder anybody, but you just be straight up and upfront. And that's where I talked about the other document, memorandum of understanding, where you can list, like, this is what I need. This is what you can bring to me to the table. Another example is when I first started my program, we needed space. So we partnered with Crossroads Corporation, which I still do work with them today, and we use their community center at no cost. So it's just asking the right questions and making sure you know what you need. Because a lot of times we don't know what we need, and then we're trying to collaborate, and then it's all over the place. And you're like, what the hell? Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say hell, but you get what I'm saying? So,
you can say hell on the block.
Oh, I can say hell on the block. So that's just me to answer you. I hope that answers your question. But I think it's sometimes some people have some things that you don't have, but together you have it as a whole. So that's really the end goal.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. I wanted to read a comment real quick. It's from, I hope I say your name right. Magella. I hope I'm saying this right. Beautiful. But yes, misspecified critique often undermines collaboration. There are multiple pain points associated with collaboration, but it often manifests as relational conflict. That's so good. So basically we're fueling the beef and then we never get nothing done. So that was really good, Jania. Thank you for dropping that. Anybody else? I don't want to miss anyone.
Well, I was going to see if Don or Tre had anything to add to that previous question. Feel free to jump in, guys.
Yes.
I didn't necessarily have everything. She laid it out so beautifully. I think the hard work that needs to happen, it takes a level of maturity to have that conversation, right? So in order to be in this work, collaborating in real tangible ways to produce something transformative or even transact, it doesn't matter. It takes a level of maturity to have that conversation as opposed to letting your feelings fester over time. So yeah. That's all I'm gonna get.
I agree with both of you. You know, although they can get these hands, but I'm just kidding, y'all. But it does. You gotta, be bigger than that. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, just like Jay said, this is all bigger than us, and you gotta let it go.
And can I add one more thing? Don't let money move you to do something that don't feel right.
Right.
Oh,
I have been in situations where there was $25,000 on the line, but the collaboration and partnership was not there for me. So I didn't have a problem leaving that on the table because it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth hindering what I've built. It wasn't worth the distrust of the community. It wasn't worth all the extra work that was like $25,000 wasn't enough for me to deal with it. So I think a lot of things you have to realize when you collaborate, don't just always get into let's secure the bag, let's do this. Like, does it make sense? Is it going to be helpful? Is it intentional? What is the end game? Like, you have to get into those things, because I will leave a bag on the table if it ain't worth it. And we get too caught up because we have this scarcity mindset that is hindering us all from doing greater work. So I do want to add that to it as well, because a lot of people are like, well, oh, I can't leave 50,000, I can't leave 25, or I can't leave $10 on the table. Yes, you can, because I bet you on the other side it'll be a $50,000 check because you didn't waste your time on something that wasn't for you.
That's right. All money ain't good money.
I love dominoes, and one of the things I know about dominoes is all money ain't good money. That's one thing.
All money ain't good money.
Right. Yeah. And you know that.
I know spades. I know spades. So you got dominoes. I know spades. I don't know.
Y'all better be playing these games. I love it. No, that's so good. All money ain't good money.
So, real quick,
yeah,
can I guess engage the speakers on an extension of that conversation, especially within the context in which we find ourselves right now. And I'm not going to throw Amelie's name out there. Well, I guess I just did.
You just did, Day.
With again, whether it's a white-led organization or an organization that has ignored communities of color in the past, I guess I'll put it out there like this. Where do you guys, when it comes to collaborating and partnering, what are some of the boundaries that you have used and put in place when it comes to, let's just be optimistic in saying that there's potential when it comes to you engaging and being able to shift some things? So I'll leave that there, and again, open up wherever that goes.
So I could take that first. I know for my brother's keeper is that even within, as we are moving to our own independence, within our bylaws, we are not taking, so everything is about the logos. Everything is about the vision, right? So there's nothing that can come in that will take us off of the vision. So if it's money that's coming in, we have a subcommittee that looks at funds and aligns them. So our vision is our plumb line. And so whatever comes our way, whatever collaboration, organization, individual, whoever comes our way, we measure that according to the plumb line. And so if it doesn't align, then we keep it moving.
Yeah, you have to stick to your guns in terms of, you know, what your vision is. I mean, I'm all about collaborating with anyone, but just you know, you got to stick to your guns.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, you know, you hear the term mission statement from a business perspective. You hear vision statement, but some people are still copying and pasting from somebody else's mission and somebody else's vision, and that is not your vision or your mission. So if you're still doing that, then you're going to continue to be confused about how to collaborate and what to do and where to go, because you still can't articulate what it is that you want to do for the community that you serve. And that's where the clarity needs to happen. And we have to be honest with ourselves. If someone comes up to me, people know that I'm willing to help anybody. Service is all over me. It's all in my aura. But tell me your mission statement, and don't take offense if I say, well, what does this mean? Don't take offense if I say, well, be clear on that. Make sure your words match your actions. And I think that's what's happened a lot of times. People try to get so caught up with, that's like Target coming to me and saying, hey, I want to collaborate with Stiletto Boss University. But if Target does not align with my vision, I can't do that collaboration. I can't even make the puzzle fit. And people get so caught up because it's a big name, and it's like, but does that feed into what you're trying to do? You know, is it even worth it? And that's really what that's my message to a lot of people. You have to ask yourself honestly, is it worth it?
Yeah, Yeah, you have to be very, very careful, because right now it's like, Black Lives Matter, the hashtag is the flavor of the month. It's like on every industry, every corporation, and you got to sort of like take a wait and see attitude. Is there longevity in this? Is there a long end game in terms of the support? So that's where I'm at mentally. I'll work with anyone, but at the same time, I'll keep you at arm's length. So,
I'll also add to that, observe. A lot of us are not observing. And when I say that, like, you see somebody's consistency, you see somebody moving. I know everybody may not know me on this call, but if you have observed my story and I didn't share much of that, I have been very consistent for over 10 years, well over 10 years, and it's consistency. I'm always doing something that serves. It doesn't even mean that it's always going to be underneath Stiletto Boss University, which is what I'm doing now. My seasons are changing, but the consistency of somebody, the consistency of a brand, the consistency of an institution is what we need to pay attention to, and we need to Google and see what's really going on, because Google works. It really does. I know y'all know that.
Google works. It's live 24/7, 365.
All the time. And some of the things that we have questions about, we could do a simple search and just find it, or just ask around. We don't observe enough. We kind of just jump into things because we think we got to do it fast, and that's not the case. You can sleep on it and pray about it if you into praying, but you can sleep on some things.
Jania. But facts, and Tre said this earlier about vetting people. We're so quick to be like, oh, they got how many followers? Oh, they do this. Oh, they do what? And we take other people's word for it. But now's the time really to vet people. That was good. All right, anybody else? I'm stalking the chat. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Dave, did I miss anybody? You got anybody? How we doing?
I think we're good.
Good?
But again, I guess we have a couple minutes for anyone who just want to unmute, jump in, add their 2 cents. Again, this is very much about hearing from those who are in the different spaces, but also is about us having discussion and collaborating. So even in this moment, I guess we got 2 minutes if anyone wants to unmute, add their 2 cents or more.
Yes.
Brother Don T, what was you in your former life? you be preaching the word, man.
Was that me? Oh, brother. Yeah. That's a little bit in the background. An urban theologian, good brother. An urban theologian in his work. But I've been here for 6 years. I'm from Chicago originally. I've been blessed and privileged to have had some profoundly impactful elders, brother. I consider myself to be a revolutionary by trade, Jack. So there's a certain level of commitment to this work that I've been blessed to be reared in. Yes, sir.
Peace to you, man.
Yes, sir.
And that's on the ancestors. But listen, y'all, next up, well, before we go next up, I just wanted to give all of our panelists their flowers. Really, really good. I mean, Don, come on. Tre, come on, man. And Jania. And what I love is that they represent different industries, right? So Jania's killing in nonprofit space with our beautiful Black and brown young women, teaching them how to be bosses early. Tre in film, which is so necessary. I mean, for us to be represented even in that sphere. And Don with just all things community and youth and so much more, right? But there's one thing that I definitely will say before we toss it over to shoot your shot on the block is let's keep reading, let's keep researching, and let's keep serving. But we got to do our research. And I think that was the thing that kind of stuck out with all three of the panelists is you got to know what you're fighting for. And you got to know the history of what you're fighting for. Don't just be fighting, because that's how you get tired. When you lose your stamina, your service suffers. Okay, so y'all, thank you so much, panelists. Y'all are amazing. Tank, next up, we got Shoot the Shot.
Yo. So I just want to also say this in terms of collaborating. If you're going to collaborate with somebody, it's best that you know who you are first. Know your identity first before you try to work with somebody else.
Facts.
Because sometimes we just get a little happy with the shot shooting.
Yeah, man.
And like you said, he got how many followers?
Yeah.
We need to talk. Like, I just met you. I promise you, I just walked in the room. You was looking at me crazy in the corner.
Right.
And then you figured out what I do. So yeah, we probably do need to talk, but you should have said something before that.
Facts. And that's another thing too, Tank. What I learned is it's not the people with the followers. It's actually people who don't have a lot of followers on social because they too busy doing it in real life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like the youth, the millennials, they get so wrapped up in, oh, they got 20K. Nah, listen, give me the person with the 2,000. Give me the person with the 200. Give me the person with the 2. Because I know that they're going to be about that action. Right. That's all I'm saying, Tank. And I'm off my soapbox. I'm off the Ivory soapbox.
Sorry, it was necessary.
Right. So what we got next, Tank?
So, I feel like this is where I usually get a little bit of trouble. So, how do you want to play this?
Okay. We're a team.
What? Now, we could just, I say, yo, you know me, I'll be like, yo, open the gates, let's go. Let's get crazy. But it's also, there's importance of collaboration, and there's also importance of following the rules.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Tell me how you want to play this.
You're so right, because, we got so many beautiful faces on this thing. I tell you what, y'all, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up because this was amazing and thick. This is going to be this is recorded. So if y'all want to see it again, I'm going to toss it over to Dave to tell y'all how you can see it. But here's what we're going to do, Tank. We're going to have everybody drop their IG.
Oh. Woo.
I think that's fair, right? Is that okay? Instead of talking, right?
I like that. I definitely shot my shot.
Okay, yeah. So here's what I want y'all to do. Don't just drop your IG, but tell us, like, what is it that you do? How do you serve wherever you are in your own backyard? So people who are looking can know, and maybe if they see, like, so for example, at Ohavia Phillips Media, boom, right? So y'all go ahead and do that. That way somebody could copy and paste or take a picture with their phone so we can know. So like
you see what happened. You see what Trey said. He hit Yolanda Ross from The Shy in the Facebook. And next thing you know, they was having face-to-face interaction and a full-fledged collaboration.
Listen, honestly,
it's worth it.
You know why this was my favorite topic? Because like literally, I am a combination of all the collaborations, like with Day, Davida, Jania. Okay, we did Jania's virtual experience. So like collaboration is really like that's my sweet baby. That's another sweet baby of mine. I love collaborating, especially in your city, because it shows that familial essence that we all need between one another.
And your pull-up game is phenomenal for the collaboration.
Thank you. So, if y'all need me, it's nothing. On E or on full.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I see it coming in. What up, Garrett? Yes. What's up, William? Eric, who got next? Oh, yeah. These are some of my favorites. Tank, these are some of my favorites.
Yeah. Shout out to E. Definitely. What's up, E?
Facts. Yes. All right. Yes, Dr. Bethune. Okay.
Oh, Dr. Bethune is here?
Yes. I knew I recognized. I said, wait, is that the? That's how you gotta say the Dr. Bethune. Okay, great.
Dr. Bethune. Shout out to Dr. Bethune for
the with 2 E.
She active.
She active on the block. Very. Oh, Dr. Bethune, if you need a what you call it? Somebody hold your pencil. Somebody hand you a brush. I'm ready and prepared to serve. Fully prepared.
I like that.
Intern. Sometimes you got to sit before you know what I'm saying. You stand. People always chase the spotlight. Serve first. Dang.
That's been my policy this whole time. All right, so let's go. We throwing it today.
All right, Day. It's on you.
What up? Thank you, co-host Tank, Ohavia. Appreciate y'all. Thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you for the speakers. Again, a round of applause again for you all. Again, please check the chat. Connect with each other, and until next month, please tap into itstheblock.com. That's our digital publication where you can, we're going to start publishing these recordings as well as some of our workshops, so you can tap in, send links to others for them to tap in as well. I see some hands being raised. That's what's up. Please tap in. These are stories. This is our voice. So please support. And until next month, peace, love.